of me wishes the Niners had beaten the Chiefs last year, just so you wouldn't be able to say it. So he'd have a ring.
Trying to separate the real from what's no big deal. Something or another. First up, Russ's debut, 2 touchdowns through the air, lots of deep shots, some mobility. Ran one in too. The Steelers win. Look at this full screen. Pittsburgh's most points since Big Ben retired. If only someone here could have called this. That Russ is actually really good. Russ's debut, Brew, something or nothing.
It's something. It's something. Look, Russ was good. And now he started slow. I think the Steelers are going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to make
5-2.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Well, I mean, I don't think any of us had them written in ink.
No, I didn't have them before the year.
No, but even did you recently like the offense, and Justin was fine. He was pedestrian, he was solid, all that. But yesterday, it was almost like a gleam in the receivers. Like really just the moon balls that he was throwing, and we know that's always been a strength of his. No, that's what
Brew texted us in the middle of the game. You're like, oh, it's like great to see the ball go down the field.
Yeah.
Oh, I said the Steelers fans were cheering like they hadn't ever seen a forward pass.
Yeah,
Like,
and George Pickens was thrilled.
Pickens was great. Yeah,
There's no doubt about it.
And so I just think the morale boost that they got, knowing we don't have to hold a team to 15 points to win a game, even though that's what they did. But, I just think Russ, and I thought, and Nick and I have debated this, he played fine last year.
Yeah.
The numbers are actually really pretty good, but he played fine. But this year with a better defense, a receiver like Pickens, that the receivers were solid in Denver, but he didn't have a Pickens, that type of talent. I think this is going to be good for this. I don't think they can win the AFC. I don't think they're like, up there with the Ravens or the Chiefs or anything, but I think they'll get to the playoffs because of this.
Yeah, it's definitely something. Like watching that game, and I thought Chris Collinsworth did a great job. He was spot on about what they needed to do in allowing Russell Wilson to throw the ball down the field and kind of get some of that momentum and get guys like Pickens involved to where it like wakes up the offense. And that's exactly what happened. Down the left field sideline, Pickens makes a great catch, and then it was like the offense opened up. Even the running game, they started to get going in the running game. The underneath passing game opened up. Russell Wilson looked like he was even more confident in the passing game. And so if you go based off of last night, not talking about what next week is going to look like or anything,
Giants, so
he made the decision clear for Mike Tomlin.
Oh, yeah.
He made the decision clear. This is as clear as the decision he's going to have because he was undecided. He wanted to see something that separated the two. He saw that last night.
I thought he also looked much more in control of the offense than Justin had.
Oh, I think that's all true.
Just more confident.
With his experience, that's definitely going to be.
It looked much.
So, and the Steelers, if you remember when we talked to them before the year, the schedule, backloaded, brutal. Have to get off to a great start, but their last kind of layup game is coming up with the Giants because you would look at the schedule and be like, well, they still have 2 games left against the Browns, but the Browns got better yesterday because Deshaun's gone.
Yeah.
And so after the Giants,
Washington, we'll see.
Yeah, they don't have any layups to me left. Like it's a brutal schedule the rest of the way, so they had to get it. So listen, I will give Russell Wilson credit. I think this is the best game he has played since his last game in Seattle. I will give Mike Tomlin credit because I thought it was such a crazy decision that I thought maybe ownership made him do it. I will also make a prediction.
Oh.
Russell Wilson is not starting every game the rest of the year. Russell Wilson, I do not believe, can consistently play at anything close to this level. That's first of all. And second of all, I also think, sadly, Russell Wilson at this point is an aging, very injury-prone player. And I think that Justin Fields is going to take back over this job at some point. But for yesterday, it was great. And Tomlin deserves credit, and Brew deserves credit for thinking Russ even had this level of game in him even for a week or two, because I did not. And when I saw the beginning of the game, I was like, okay, yeah, this is what I think it's going to look like. And then he played great. I don't think it's sustainable. And I think it'll be Fields' job.
Okay. It's what we call double downing on a take. It was night and day. Night and day with Russell Wilson. You saw an actual seasoned veteran with true experience taking command of the offense. okay? And here's the difference between Justin Fields and Russell Wilson at the end of the day. This is what it can be completely boiled down to, okay? Justin Fields can help minimize some of the deficits and some of the limitations of the offense of the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Because of his athleticism, because of his own unique skill set. But he can't maximize the offense. Whereas Russell Wilson can't minimize the limitations, but he can maximize the potential of the offense. He can maximize the receivers and what they can do offensively, what they can do from a play calling. They can actually push the ball down the field. Watching Justin Fields against the Dallas Cowboys was so reminiscent of high school football when you have a really athletic quarterback and the rest of the team is just not good. There's just nowhere to go. You can't really throw the ball down the field because no one's going to be able to really catch it. There's just nothing to do. The offensive line isn't great, so you got to like keep running all around. Like that's what it felt like. With Russ, it completely changed. And again, seeing him command the line of scrimmage, do everything that he needed to do, that was a man who's played a lot of football, a lot of high-level football. I get it. He's aging. He's not who he was. But I've been banging this drum now for months. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be better with Russ than Justin Fields. And that was shown. That was without a doubt shown. I mean, look how high-powered the offense of the Minnesota Vikings looked against the New York Jets. And then compare that to what the Steelers did. That was an impressive win. That was a really impressive win. I understand the New York Jets are a little bit banged up defensively and stuff like that, and, you know, firing coaches and all of that. I get it. The defense hasn't looked great over the last couple of weeks. That's a totally fair point. And if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, it's okay to acknowledge that, right? It's okay. That's just part of it. But this offense looked significantly better. It looked like that they would be more resilient. It raises the ceiling. It doesn't raise the floor. I think Justin Fields ultimately can raise the floor, but not the ceiling. And those are two different things. And sometimes you need a quarterback to be able to raise the floor. And sometimes you need a quarterback who can raise the ceiling. Ideally, the elite quarterbacks do both, right? That's that, right? When you have an elite quarterback in their prime, they can do both. Right? I'm trying to think of other quarterbacks. Mason Rudolph, for instance, right? Like, he couldn't really raise the ceiling or raise the floor. Right? I mean, you have all these other quarterbacks that are these in-betweeners. It's like, he can like somewhat elevate the ceiling, kind of raise the floor, but I don't know, man. Some games are really bad, and that floor just breaks, and you just keep falling. This had such a different energy. You felt that the offense could actually do stuff, that it was functional. Whereas with Justin Fields, it looked like you're just grinding your gears. Right? Like you're flooring it and the tires are spinning and mud's going everywhere. Yeah, the engine can roar and sound really good, and you can watch the tires spin and go, wow, that truck has power. But it wasn't really able to go anywhere. I mean, look to the Dallas Cowboys, how they've aged. And I know they've had some injuries, but the fact that you couldn't move the ball, it was like that to me. That was the big issue. And then even Chris Collinsworth pointed it out. Right, that game. He goes, this really just opened up the door for Russ to get another start, to get another opportunity. Because that was obviously a winnable game. I mean, the Steelers could easily be 6-1, without a doubt. And you can make the argument, although Justin Fields actually played his best game, I think, in the loss against the Colts, I believe it was. So I think this is definitely something. I think this makes them so much more formidable, so much more dangerous. And the truth is, if the Steelers make it to the playoffs, who are you going to trust in the playoffs? Justin Fields or Russ? I mean, it's obvious. One you know without a shadow of a doubt can handle the moment, who's been there. I'm not going to tell you he's perfect. I'm not going to tell you that he succeeds everywhere he goes, because you're going to point out the times that he's failed. Newsflash, every quarterback has failed. Every great quarterback, every elite, every Hall of Famer has failed. But Justin Fields has never shown that he can win and succeed at the highest level in the biggest moments. And whether you want to blame Chicago or whatever, that's fine. But he is truly unproven. So at the end of the day, in a gotta have it win, if you said, we have one game, we gotta win this game, who do we pick for our quarterback? You're lying to yourself if you pick Justin Fields over Russell Wilson. because you can trust that Russ at least knows how to be an NFL quarterback. Justin Fields is still learning how to be an NFL quarterback. So if you think Justin Fields ultimately is the future, I understand that. And that's what I said. Sit Justin Fields, start Russ. And obviously there was the injury, so that just, that was just how it unfolded. But treat Justin Fields like a rookie and let him relearn. Let him work with the new offensive coordinator who can help rebuild him. Let him work in a better culture and a better structure, better support with Mike Tomlin than what he had in Chicago. Let him learn from Russ. I understand Russ isn't the most likable guy. I understand that Russ isn't in his prime, but you can still learn a tremendous amount from Russ. The do's and the don'ts for that matter. So if you think Justin Fields is the future, that's fine. But right now, this team can actually win now. That's the reality. This defense is for real. This offense has some juice to it. And Russ has some life to him. You got a great offensive coordinator. I don't know when maybe great's too strong, but he's definitely better than what you've had in a while. Maybe he's great. He's building his resume to be great. But he's definitely not bad. He's very competent. He's not whoever the heck the Eagles had last season. So, yeah, this is absolutely something. And to say, I think Russ will get injured. I mean, trying to predict injuries is just comically absurd to me. It just is. I think this guy's going to get injured. Okay. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But it's just like, what? Yeah, I'm not going to base analysis based on, I think this guy's going to get hurt, so therefore he's not going to finish the season. It's like, that's not actually based off of logic. Even if someone's injury prone, it's like saying, I think Aiden Hutchinson's going to get injured. It's like, okay, well, he got injured. It's like, we're just making stuff up now, right? So, draw your conclusions and come to the reality that Russell Wilson is a better quarterback today. October 2024, Russell Wilson is a better quarterback than Justin Fields. Whether he's going to get hurt in the future, whether he's old, whether people don't like him, doesn't matter. He's better. Justin Fields is not that guy yet. Maybe one day he will. Maybe he never will be. But if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, why do you feel like playing that game right now? Why do you want to try to play, hey, let's figure out who Justin Fields is? You have a team. You can win. You're competing for the division. Russell Wilson has won a Super Bowl, has been to 2. You can win. You can do damage. No question about it. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Russell Wilson's 3-touchdown Steelers debut? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.